Let me know when we're
We
recording.
are live, sir.
Very well. It now being 1:32 on August 16th, 2022, we're going to commence proceedings before the Special Magistrate for Code Enforcement for the City of Palatka. By way of introduction, my name is Ron Brown. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Florida, and pursuant to city code and state statute, I've been appointed by the City Commission of City of Palatka to preside over these proceedings. These proceedings are governed by state statutes, and they're governed by the city's code. They are not formal courts of law. They are what's called a quasi-judicial proceeding, and it will have many of the trappings of a judicial proceeding, but it is not the same. We don't follow the formal rules of evidence. We don't follow the formal rules of civil procedure as you might find in a court of law. We are required under law, however, to follow the basic notions of fair play and due process. That is, make sure everyone has notice to be here, notice of the allegations, and notice and the opportunity to speak, to present evidence, to raise questions, and present any testimony and evidence that they may have. One of the requirements of the law, however, specifically, is that all evidence presented must be what is called substantial and competent evidence. And that is evidence that's defined as evidence by which a reasonable person could be used to reach some kind of logical conclusion. One of the requirements of that is that all testimony presented must be sworn, and the persons giving the testimony must have actual personal knowledge of the facts to which they're testifying. So therefore, I'm going to ask all those persons in the room today who will be testifying, including the city staff and any respondents, to please stand, raise your right hand, and take a following oath. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
And let the record show that all the city staff and the three respondents present have answered the oath in the affirmative. We take the cases in the order on the agenda unless the respondents are present, and then we generally take the cases in the order of which the respondents have arrived. I do want to, however, because we have one new case, go ahead and handle that one first. And then we have, I think, 5 cases that involve the establishment of a lien and a recordation of a lien. What will happen in these proceedings is that the city will be making presentations regarding the alleged violations. They'll cite the statutes and ordinances they believe are violated, and then the evidence they have in support of that violation. Respondents will have an opportunity to address those allegations, ask any questions they may have, and to present any evidence and testimony they may have regarding the violations. At the conclusion of the hearing, I'll make a determination whether there's a violation of one or more or all of the ordinances, and then to establish a compliance period. There are no fines that get levied today. This is an opportunity to address the situation prior to the establishment of a fine. But after that, the next thing that could happen is that the fines will accrue. The city will come back and ask that the special magistrate authorize the imposition of a lien on the property for the amount of the accrued fines and fees, and that lien to be recorded on the public records. Therefore, we're going to begin with the first case. This is case number 2022-031, property 1302 Dunham Street, Palatka. Owners of record appear to be Junior Roger Daniel and Patricia Daniel. I understand both Junior Roger Daniel and Patricia Daniel are with us. Is that correct? You can come on up because we're going to want you to speak into that microphone when the opportunity appeals itself. Yes, ma'am.
Prior to us getting started, I just wanted to notify you, Mr. Brown, that a letter was sent to you by Patricia Daniel dated August 1st, 2022, which consists of ex parte communications. As you have advised the respondents and the owners here today, everything that's to be presented has to be presented before you. They have to have substantial knowledge. I just want you to remind them of that and admonish them that they are not to be sending you ex parte communications about any case.
Yeah. What she's talking about,
disparaging remarks about code enforcement officer Green.
what she's talking about is the only thing I can consider today is what I see and hear today. Okay. And the only consideration I have the authority to consider are the facts and testimony and the allegations regarding the violation of the code. I don't have any authority under the law, and jurisdiction is something that is decided by statute. And the statutes that create code enforcement simply don't allow me to do anything else but take a look at whether there's a violation or not. You know, why there's a violation is not really something I can get into. It's just a question of whether it's there or not. There are avenues of appeal after that, but basically we're just looking at what we're going to see and hear today. And that's the limit of my abilities to, and my authority to make any kind of decision. So what's going to happen, we're going to start off with Mr. Green, who's going to make the city's case. I understand that we have violations, alleged violations of 3 separate code provisions. Mr. Green?
Yes, sir. This case was first observed 6/13/2022. A notice of hearing was sent 07/29/22. The green card came back signed. The complex posting was 8/5/2022. The site posting was also 7/29/22. The violations are section 7-82, responsible owner or occupant. Building not property number. The address wasn't on the building. Section 30-32A, prohibited conditions and public nuisance, roofing and disrepair. Section 30-169, building fronts and sides, abutting streets or public areas. Description: mold and mildew and paint deteriorating.
Okay, and for the record, what they call the green card is simply the green card that the Postal Service asks you to sign that you got the notice of the hearing, and you are here. And for the record, you are Junior Roger Daniel and Patricia Daniel. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. They are both here. Therefore, due process has been served. All right, we've got 3 violations, and I'll go over the ordinances just to make sure everybody understands where we are. The first one I see is alleged reference to section 70.82 of the municipal code. That section provides that owners or occupants of all dwellings, stores, and other buildings of the city are hereby required to have the building properly numbered in accordance with the provisions of this article. Is that basically the 911 numbering system? All right. Second violation deals with section 30-32A, prohibited conditions and public nuisances, roofing and disrepair. That section provides, make sure I have the right one.
Yes, sir. 18.
Yeah, I got it here. Paper is sometimes fun to deal with. All right. That provision provides that failure to replace or repair with similar or improved material in a reasonable period, not to exceed 60 days, broken or missing building components, including but not limited to doors, windows, roofing material, siding, drive walks, outside right of way to which detract from the aesthetics of a neighborhood, shopping area, industrial area, or other commercial area within the service district constitutes a violation. And the tag is it's roofing and disrepair. I'll let Mr. Green describe what the city believes the issue is. The other violation has to do with section 30-169 of the code. That provision indicates that on properties abutting a street shall be made structurally sound. Weakened portions shall be removed, repaired, replaced in a manner compatible with the rest of the structure, and mildew shall be cleaned from all buildings. So what I'm seeing at an initial state has to do with the numbering of the building, the roofing of the building, some structural components, and mildew.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're up. Show me what you got. And can everybody see and Ms. Hughes will get them going in the right direction. Just for the record, Mr. Green, did you take all the photographs you're presenting today as demonstrative evidence?
Yes, sir.
Do the photographs accurately represent the condition of the property on the date on which you took them?
Yes, sir.
All right, please proceed.
This is just a picture of the duplex. It's 6/13/2022.
Back up. That's kind of dark. What are you looking at? It's just
The roof, it gets better. That's the morning pictures.
All right. We're up to
This picture
photo
is-
1.
This is picture number 1, 6/13/22. Rotten and weakened wood, mold and mildew on walls.
So this is the roof and the gable.
Yes, sir. And the side of the house.
Is all that visible from the street?
Yes, sir. From Eagle Street.
Okay. Now
That's
photograph
another picture.
2.
Yes, sir. That's another picture of the mildew on Eagle Street.
All right. And what would be the remedy for the mildew? Just a
Um,
pressure washing?
Yes, sir. Clean, pressure washing. If they want to, they can give a nice even coat of paint.
Okay. Next.
That's the back of the house. That's still visible from Eagle Street. And that's the roofing that's in disrepair.
And the roofing is completely falling
Caved
in
in.
there.
Yes, sir.
Is this house open and accessible? They got all the entryways
All
closed?
the entryways are sealed.
Very good. Please proceed.
That's a picture of the roof.
Okay. I mean, can this roof be repaired without being replaced?
I'm not an engineer, sir, but it looks like it needs to be removed and replaced.
Hang on, you get a chance. All right. Next.
This is 7/20/7/22. Another picture of the mildew and roofing and disrepair from Eagle Street.
Okay.
And this picture from the back of the house again from 7/27/2022.
All right.
And that's another picture right here, 7/27/2022. That's the front of the house. So on the roofing again, that's in disrepair.
Right, so the roof is in disrepair, and that's the structural elements that you're looking at? Anything besides the roof and the gable?
Yes, so that's it. As far as I know, like I said, I'm not an engineer. I wouldn't know.
And the mildew on the sides of the house needs to be pressure
Yes,
washed
sir.
and be painted. What's the numbering issue? What has to be done to fix that?
They have to put the 911 address on the, it has to be 5 inches above the ground, at least, so 911 can see it, but usually normal people put it by the door.
But that's just going to the hardware store and getting the sign?
Yes, sir.
If you just get something, put it in the ground and shows you can see it from the road, is that enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, has to be a certain size.
Yes, sir.
Right.
5 by 6, I think, inches.
All right, what we've got here, it seems to me, this numbering system is the number. It's not there, right? The roof is in something of a state of disrepair. It's collapsed and it looks bad. And the mildew just needs to be scrubbed off and taken, pressure washed and painted. Here's the thing, the county is apparently asking for 60 days to require a permit to be pulled for the roof. That's not the same as fixing the roof. It's just getting the permit pulled for the roof. Post the house number in a visible location, remove the mold and mildew from the building and repaint the exterior. Is that the entire building, Mr. Green?
Yes, sir.
If not completed within 60 days, a fine of $75 per day beginning Wednesday, December 14th. So what they're asking you to do, get a permit for the roof, which is a process. And then paint it, we'll do and paint it and get the sign up. So your turn.
Well, first of all, yes, the roof do need replacing. And it's been a long time coming. But we had plans how we were gonna get to this building. And Mr. Green made a statement from the last time that we will work together. But evidently, that don't work. Actions speak louder than words, and that wasn't action. But further along, I want to say is I do have my contractor. The first letter I received from Mr. Green, I called my contractor out. He come out when he was able to within that week. He got to look at the roof and he scrolled around and I'm scrolling around with him. And the first thing he said, well, I think I'm gonna need to get my architect out here. So he gets on the phone and calls his architect. And the architect's scheduled to come out the following week. This been happening ever since I got the first notice. So the architect come out, we took the boards off where he can get in, look at the building, outside and in. He made his notes and did all he needed to do. And when they left that day, he did what he had to do at home in the office or whatever. And then my contractor, he received everything from the architect. Then he went from that point to the trust company. So we got the designing for the trust and all that put together. And we already got the trust ordered. But before anything can happen, we got demolition of the roof, got to take everything off. The block cells have got to be poured with concrete before we can even set trusses. Everything is a process, one step at a time. And ain't nowhere in the world you can do this in 60 days because when I say that, because the trusses, it's gonna take 5 to 6 weeks before they even get them fabricated.
Let me ask you this.
We don't have no control over that.
Well, the only thing the city's asking for at this point is to get the permit. And actually what they're asking for
Okay,
is to
Okay,
pull the
I
permit.
hear you, I hear you. I got my ID number right here. And it's gonna take up to 5 weeks, I think, before the permit is issued. It takes time for that. Everything is a process. You can't do this in 10 days, 60 days, and trying to get something done in 10 days, that's a threat.
Mr. Green, what's the definition of pulling a permit? I mean, you applied for it, that they are granted the permit?
Yeah, grant the permit.
Well, how long is it going to take y'all to review this once you get all the
I
material?
have the permit in my hand right now for him.
Well, that's not the question. The answer is how long does it take you to review it and issue it?
I'm gonna review and I'll let my,
Well, we're having a hearing right now.
Mr. Brown, once we review that, Mr. Brown. Can I speak?
Yeah.
Once we review the information he just provided us, but we hadn't had no notes of that information, we will look at it. The issue we're asking them is to get the permit in 60 days. Also remove the mildew and also fix the address.
So
The
what I'm
permit to
getting
get
at
the
is
roof-
that,
The permit to get the roof done will give you more time to get the roof done, but you have to get the permanent, a certified permanent applied for. And then also we need to make sure the mildew and everything else that you can do without having a permit is taken care of within those 60 days.
so what they're saying is that they want 60 days to get the permit issued. And they've got a lot of this material. So they're looking that
Well-
they would like to see a permit issued, looks like November 13th, December 13th is actually the compliance date.
Well,
So 60 days is actually October 17th. It's a Monday. So
Okay.
62 days. That's a month.
October 7th.
October 17th,
Well-
2022 is 60 days. It's actually 62.
10,
well,
17.
I just talked to my contractor this morning and he gave me the information. It's gonna take up to 5 weeks on the permit, but it's already in process.
Does anybody see any reason why this can't be accomplished by October
Yeah,
17th?
I mean, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. But, you know-
That's fair.
Well, if you can get the permit done by October 17th, you don't get any fines.
That's
all
right.
What about pressure washing and painting
Well,
this
we can get that done.
by October 17th?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I just run a couple 100 foot water hose and just clean it up.
And you need to stay in touch with them, make sure this process continues. Generally, these kinds of things don't get in front of me until whatever's happened in the past somehow hasn't yielded results.
Yeah, they get into you before
Yeah.
that kind of thing going
All
on,
right.
something else going on.
So this is pretty straightforward at this point. You need a sign with the 911 number on it.
Mhm.
You need a pressure wash and paint those sides. And you need to get the permit pulled that is issued for the roof repair by all of this by October 17th.
Now,
Be warned, if you don't pull that permit, fine, that's a violation. If you get the permit in time and don't proceed with the roof, you could end up back here.
okay, let me say this. We get the permit, it's gonna come in on time. And also my contractor, he's gonna start demolition the roof, get it ready.
Well, make sure you get a permit for that.
It's all gonna be on with the permit.
Well,
We waiting on
Mr.
the
Green-
permit. We waiting on the permit.
the permit they're going to get includes demolition and repair.
no, that's what, yes, sir, that would look like, yes, sir.
So they need a separate demolition permit.
We need a separate-
Nah.
The contractor who does all that all the time, so he knows what he's pulling.
Because what you're asking me to order is they get a permit to repair the roof.
Yes, sir. I think the demolition permit comes along with the roof.
Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
All right. I don't want him coming back and saying, and in fairness to him and her, I don't want them coming back and saying that, they had to have another permit before he got to the second
Just wanna be
permit.
clarity. Clarity is always good.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Ronald, I heard your attorney speak about the letter and that you can't bring that up, but I'm wondering why it took 14 days. That was way ahead of before now. So do they hold your mail when you get it, when someone leave you mail? Is it supposed to be held for 2 weeks without you knowing you even got mail?
And here's the thing about it. I saw it,
Okay. That's all,
Okay,
that's okay.
but again, it's not something I can consider
Okay.
in terms of what I'm hearing today.
That's
The
what
only
I-
thing I'm going on is what I see and hear today on the record, because there's a record of this
Yes,
being
sir.
recorded.
Yes, sir.
So when
My-
any
my-
decision is going to be based on what I see and hear today.
Yeah, my concern is that when I was getting those, what was on there, I was getting those, violations, they came like 3 days, 2 days, 5 days. They didn't come the whole 10 days. I couldn't figure out why it was so confusing and
And
no
one of the
dates
things-
on them, and that was kind of harassing.
And
to
I
me.
understand that, but, and again,
That's
all I'm
part
looking
of
at is what I've got right here.
Okay.
And we're on the same page as what they're
We're on the
asking
same
about
page.
and what the
Yes, sir.
solution
We're on the
is.
same
All right.
page. I just
So I'm
want
going
to
to
make sure
enter,
that.
I'm going to enter an order finding a violation of section 782 of the city code regarding the building not being properly numbered according to the 911 numbering system. Section 30-32A, prohibited conditions of public nuisances during the roofing being in disrepair. And then section 30-169, building fronts and sides of budding streets or public areas, mold and mildew and paint deteriorating. You'll get an order in the mail, and we do have your correct address, that being 463 West River
Yes,
Road,
sir.
Palatka 32177,
That's
correct?
correct.
All right, and we will send that to you. Don't forget the date of 10/17 is the compliance date,
17.
and stay in touch with Mr. Green.
We will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we
And,
appreciate it.
I hope this will take, oh, we did mention we're not using the building. The money that's put to do it is taken from the tenants from the other two buildings. We actually wait on them, so. They won't get no housing for at least January because the money been spent on a building that we would never use right now. So I just want to kind of know when, working with someone that works with the community.
Just be straight, it's real simple right now. Let's keep it that way.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, y'all have a great day.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we have, next on the agenda, we have two cases. We're gonna have to deal with them separately in order to maintain a separate record for each. And they appear to be case 2021-007, John's Mills of Palatka, Inc., property located 189 Madison Street. And we have case 2021-31, looks like John G. Kastner, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Location at 1122 Bronson Street.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll take these separately. And just for the record and by way of explanation, what has happened at this point is that the city has procured an order finding a violation on the property. That has had a, same thing as previous cases, had a deadline for compliance. The deadline is apparently passed. Where we are now is fees have accrued in the forms of liens. What's the 582.62 in administrative fees? And what's the authority for that?
So that is based on a worksheet. How that breaks down. It is for administrative costs, inspections, letters, recording costs, hearing fee, and any legal costs.
Is that authorized by ordinance? Do you know which one? Let's make sure it's in there because that's part of the deal.
Yes, sir.
So what we're going to do today, while you're looking for that, I'll continue the explanation. The city is going to be making a showing as to whether there's been any compliance since the date for the order finding violation, which was on 9/28/21, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what has been out of compliance for 291 days at $50 a day. If there's been no such improvement, the city is entitled to a lien on the property. And the order issued will authorize the recordation of that lien on the public records. It does not authorize the foreclosure of that lien. That will require a separate hearing after notice, with authorizing the city attorney to begin foreclosure proceedings, which can be done. In which case the city will seek ownership of the property during a foreclosure sale, or someone else will come in and outbid the city's position, depending on what they want to do with regard to the property. And that's what these cases are for today. So let's go ahead and open up the first case. This is case 2021-007, John's Mills of Palatka, Inc., property 1819 Madison Street. We have a respondent present, I believe we do. Please come forward. Identify yourself for the record.
John G. Kastner.
All right, and you are the principal of John's Metals of Palatka, Inc.
Correct.
And then that corporation owns the property at 1819 Madison Street, correct? All right, Mr. Green, show us what's happened since looks like September 28th of last year.
Yes, sir.
And the original code violations had to do with 30-32 prohibited conditions and public nuisances, fencing and disrepair, and 30-32A1 prohibited conditions, junk, trash, and debris, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, show us.
This is a picture of 9/7/2021.
Okay,
This next picture is another picture of 9/28/2021.
is that a dumpster, roll-on dumpster out there?
Yes, sir. That's on this property. We were talking about the
So that's not the subject property.
you know, the couches right there that's in a bundle. The first time you said I wasn't on this property, but the next picture, Aaron, that's 7/27/22.
And we're looking at picture.
Same couch,
Okay.
almost a year later. The next picture, it's gotten worse. This is 7/20/27. This is open to the road on 19th Street.
And so you got fencing and disrepair and trash and debris outside the fence?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is another picture showing it really not next to the street on 19th Street.
Okay.
And the fence and steering disrepair. It's like that right now today.
All right, so that's the way the property looks at this time?
Yes, sir.
So the fencing and disrepair is the corrugated metal fence that you're
Yes, sir.
looking at? So that needs to be replaced and
Yes, sir.
that
Repaired and
breach
replaced.
fixed?
Yes, sir.
and then get that junk, trash and debris behind the fence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your last inspection was on 7/27 of this
Yes,
year,
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir. I drive by it every day, so I expect it today too, if you want to say that.
Did you take the photographs showing its demonstrative evidence?
Yes, sir.
Do the photographs accurately represent the condition of the property on date in which you took it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Kastner, we've got a fence with sections missing, and we've got a lot of debris and items that are on the other side of that breach in the fence. Your turn to stay and present anything you'd like. Ask any questions you'd like.
Okay, so back two pictures.
Yes, sir.
Right there's good.
Okay.
That was dumped there over a year ago. And I've called the city 50 times. Please come. It wasn't dumped there by me. It was dumped by people who didn't.
Is it on
wanna
your
go-
property?
Pardon me?
Is it on your property?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The city keeps saying the truck is broke, the truck is broke. So every time I call, the truck is broke, but I see the truck all over the rest of the city picking up such items. But I can't get them to come and pick that up. I don't know why.
Well, the city got an obligation to come pick it up?
In fact, the last hearing that I was here, they said they would take care of that. They would get it out of there, but they never did. And I kept calling. It doesn't do any good.
I don't think I remember that, but the record is what the record says. That being the case, it's still there.
Yes, sir.
Well, show me what else there is you like to say,
About that,
Scroll down.
or anything else.
I don't feel as though it's my responsibility. It's not part of my operation. Someone who didn't want to go to the landfill at nighttime just dumped it there.
Well, unfortunately, you're the property owner and it's on your property. How it got there is really irrelevant to the fact that it's there.
Well,
And you may have a cause of action against somebody who's trespassing on your property and leaving material there, but it's still there.
But I see the trucks going around the whole city picking up the same debris off other people's property.
And
Why
I don't know
they
what to-
pick up mine?
And again, I'm not the city in regard to that issue, but the fact is, I mean, what's the difficulty in moving the stuff behind that fence and fixing the fence?
Well, I don't want to bring garbage into my property. That's trash. That's something that should go to the landfill, not into a salad jar. It has no value. It's just trash. But what I can't understand is why I see the city truck going around all other properties picking up stuff. I don't understand it.
And I'm not in a position that I can rule on that. Only thing I can rule on is whether there's a violation, is that this material's on this property or not.
Well, what do I got to do to have?
What's the
someone-
problem with fixing your fence?
Pardon me?
What's the problem with fixing your
I
fence?
did fix it one time, but in the meantime,
Did you ever tell Mr. Green that it's been fixed and so we can come out and verify that?
well,
Slow down one more, Aaron.
Wait, one at a time. I asked him.
it was never completely fixed because of the COVID. I had eight employees there. Now I have 3, and I even lost my driver. So.
Did you ever communicate with Mr. Green concerning this issue that you can't get the fence fixed?
No,
Okay.
sir, never have. And in the meantime, the city's fixing all these streets, bringing all these pipes. I probably got in there 2,000 tons of cast iron pipes from the city, and I've just been overwhelmed.
Well, I'm looking at this picture now. It's on the screen, dated 7/27/22, and it shows the breach in the fence. And it shows material and items behind the fence, and it shows items in the front of the fence. And I have to tell you, I can't come up with a criteria that tells me that some of that is yours and some of it isn't.
It's all mine.
Well, then why? Well, it's on the other side of the fence.
And why is it on the outside?
Yeah.
Because I'm black, I can't get no help, Your Honor. It just, like I said, I had 8 employees, now I have 3. This is COVID, nobody wants to work.
Well, this has been going on now since,
A long time.
yeah, it looks like,
I don't just sit in the office all day.
what,
so-
October of last year. It's been a year. And
In the meantime, the population of Palatka has increased, and has more material that comes in, and I'm just overwhelmed.
we'll go back. Well, here's the thing. I mean, again, I appreciate the issues. The only thing I'm looking at today is factually whether the violation has continued, hasn't been abated. And looking at this photo, it looks like there's no difference between what's outside and inside. And you say that material on the outside is yours and the fence is still breached. It's still there.
Yeah, because I've just been overwhelmed, I can't get no help. And I-
Well,
I put up a new-
the city's entitled, to have the lien recorded. What they're trying to do is get it motivated to get it done, because this is starting to get expensive. Right now, at $50 a day for 291 days, it's $14,550. And once, I gotta tell you, once this lien gets recorded, you're gonna have to come back in front of city commission to get that reduced. These staff can't reduce it anymore. So. All right. I mean, it doesn't look like there's, from what I've seen in the evidence and testimony, it doesn't look like there's been any compliance effort. The city's entitled to their lien. So I'm gonna find that there's or enter an order authorizing the placement of a lien on the property for the amount at least of $14,550. We got some authority for the fees to put on this.
Section, really code section 82 through 89.
All right, very good. And the $582.62 administrative fees for a total of $15,132.62. And we'll send that out. You need to get, and I appreciate the difficulty you're having, but I mean, at some point, putting that stuff back on the other side of the fence and closing up that fence may take some time, but it solve you a lot of problems.
All the material there is stuff that takes a lot of labor to process it, to ship it. And no steel, no anywhere will buy that stuff as is. It's gotta be, pieces have to be cut off.
Let me ask you something. I mean, this is not my authority to order this. Just letting you know. I mean, can somebody get a truck and start hauling this stuff to the landfill?
It doesn't go to the landfill, it's scrap metal.
Well, wherever you want to take it, scrap metal can still have value, help pay for the cost of moving it. If it's got value, somebody might be willing to come and get it.
As it sits here, no light on it, just has to be processed.
Well, I'll leave that up to you to sort out, okay? So you got that order. Let's move on to the next case, which also involves you. This is case 2021-031. This one is captioned John G. Kastner, and you are Mr. Kastner in here. Case of location of 1122 Bronson Street. The original violations looks like there were 4. Municipal Muni Code Section 30-32A, prohibited conditions, overgrown grass. Muni Code Section 30-169, building fronts and sides abutting public streets, mold and mildew on those sides visible. Code Section 30-32A, prohibited conditions due to the roofing condition of the house, the property. And then Muni Code Section 30-32A, prohibited conditions, trash, junk, and debris. Okay, Mr. Green.
Yes, sir. This picture here, of 1122 Madison Street was taken 12/9/2021. The trash and debris,
What did this used to be?
meat house,
Meat house.
this is slaughterhouse, best packers.
So I'm looking at photograph 5 here. You got something more current? Show me what's going on out there.
Yes, sir.
Right, this is a photograph.
That's the second, that's how it looks now. The couch is still there and it's a different basket there now.
All right.
And this was taken 12/9/2021. It still has the overgrown grass.
So the original order was sent back in February of 22, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. You're showing me a photo number 4 dated 12/9/21.
Yes, sir. And this is 7/27. The grass is still there, some debris is still there. And you also see the mold and the mildew on the walls still there.
Has there been any change in the property since the
No, sir.
hearing date?
No, sir. I don't know if Mr. Castle knows, but the door facing Bronson Street, it was unsecure.
That door on Bronson Street where you come into the main end of the office?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know how they get through that. It's all steel.
It was open.
Somebody broke through the door.
Oh, I don't know. It was open though.
Okay, show me. If that's an
Okay,
issue, show me what you got.
That's 12/9/2021, mold and mildew.
Well, that's not a part of the building. That's a trailer that's parked there. That's not part of that building. That's a 40.
That's a stationary part. It's not moving anywhere.
So what is it?
Not a part of the building.
What is it?
It's a box trailer
Where is it located?
inside the fence.
I'm
Attached
sorry,
to the-
one at a time. Where's it located on the property?
On Bronson Street side.
On the property?
Yes, sir. Oh, inside.
Is it like,
It's on my property.
okay, I'll try it again. Is it like sitting on the ground? Is it on some kind of support? Is it on wheels? What's it on?
It's got the original landing gear in the front and the back, and it's on a block of concrete.
So it's not a part of the building.
Those-
Okay, what about that, Mr. Green?
I can get the mildew addressed if that's, no objectional.
But there's mold on other parts of the building?
Yes, sir.
I don't see any mold on any other part of the building. It's all bricks.
All right. Well, there's some mold there. I'm looking at photo dated 7/27/22. And is that Madison Street side of the building?
That's Bronson.
Bronson Street side, it faces Madison and Bronson?
No, sir.
Bronson,
Bronson.
just
It's on
Bronson?
the corner of Bronson and.
Sorry,
11th
Madison was
Street.
the other case. So, and this is also the Bronson side. Well, so what needs to be done in this photo here?
So the trash needs to be picked up in the couch. It need to be moved in the buggy. And the doors right there need to be pressure washed, painted
Okay.
with even coated paint.
Okay. And that hasn't been done since
No, sir.
last February. All right, what else?
Mom has some roofing issues also.
Let me see, show that.
That's right. This picture was
Is
taken.
that the gap in the roof?
Yes, the 12/09/2021.
Okay,
And this is it, 7/27/22.
all right. Anything else about the roof?
I think so. I think there's a couple more pictures.
Okay.
That's it. That's it, sir.
That's the same thing. I'm
Yes,
looking at number photograph 6
Yes, sir.
and go back the other way, Ms. Hughes. That's 6. The next photograph is unnumbered, but
Yeah,
it's
just-
dated 7/27. That's the same, that's the same view, same
Yes, sir.
portion. All right. Next, anything? Okay. Well, where we are again, Mr. Kastner, is they just want something done. In this particular case, mow the grass, clean off the mold and mildew, repair that one section of roofing where the gap is, and get all the junk, trash, and debris off the property. Is there an issue?
Yeah, the trash and debris is from people driving down the street. They don't throw it onto my property. It's outside of the fence. They just going down the street, they just throw it out the windows.
It's not on your property,
No, sir, it's outside the fence.
Mr. Green?
And the couch there, street people want to live there all the time.
Where's the right of way stop?
Where does the right of way stop?
Scroll back down.
At the fence.
Scroll.
Well, not always.
Scroll back down. One more. Going
Well,
right
we
way.
made findings previously that it was on his
Go to-
property.
Keep going. That's on his property.
Okay,
That's on my property. That's where the street people come in and they pull a couch up in there and
and we understand that.
that's where they sleep.
It's not necessarily the ideal situation, but it's on your property. That's all we're saying.
What can I do about that? I move it next week.
And it is,
They just persist on living there.
I understand your situation. Trust me, I know of others who have same situation, but it's on your property. Okay. And the roof needs to be repaired. That trash and debris needs to be removed. However, none of that's been done since last February.
Which trash are you referring?
Well, right there for one.
I did remove it one time. But
Well, and then you need to tell him to go out and make sure you got compliance, because you need to stop the clock running on fines. All right, anything else? Listen, I'm very sympathetic to the notion that, you know, times are difficult, it's difficult to get labor, and so forth. But everybody who comes in here has got the same situation you do, and I wish I could say they did not. Everything's more expensive to get to the extent you can get it. Materials, labor, transportation, logistics, whatever, it's all there. The city, all they're trying to do is get compliance with their code. And they are nice to a point, my observation has been, but then sometimes they get a hammer out and this is what they use. Right now, they're entitled to their lien recordation. It doesn't mean they're going to foreclose a lien. It simply means they got recorded on the public records. Right now, it appears that the liens total $14,800 at 148 days. The original fee was $100 a day, which they're entitled to charge. Total administrative fees, $582.62 for a total of $15,382.62. We're going to enter an order imposing that, or,
I got a
and
question. Why is the fee so high for Bronson Street compared to Madison Street? Madison Street's
and,
$50 a day.
it's whatever they think the motivation is to get it
Double.
done. They can go up to 100, I think up to 500.
It's only 50 on Johns Mills, but it's $100 on 1122 Bronson.
That's $100 a day.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. They want it fixed. They don't want your money. They want it fixed. Okay, you're going to get an order certified mail. Address.
What can I do about the trash outside the fence all the time?
And you'll have to ask them.
Mr. Bain, any ideas what I can do about?
And
trash?
tell you what, why don't you ask them outside the scope of the hearing? Because
Oh, okay.
you need to stay in touch with them about compliance with this. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm sorry it's been difficult.
I got another question, please. Do you have time?
So let me know that the previous hearing is closed. Go ahead.
I can't speak no more.
You can speak. It's not, that hearing is closed.
I see there's an orange notice on the fence saying that things had to be done, but I never received that. I very rarely go around that property. I just bought it as an investment property. So one of these pictures has the orange tag on the fence. It was never delivered to me. It's hung on the fence and I don't hardly ever go there.
Well, here's what the law requires.
That's how I
The
missed the
law
last.
requires And I'm talking about section 162 of the Florida statutes.
Okay.
The law requires that the city first send the notification to the official address of record that the property appraiser and tax collector have for you as the owner of this property.
Okay.
Mr. Green, where did you send it?
The one for John's
The
Meadows,
letter of notification.
to John's Meadows. For John,
That's better. What, the sign for it?
yeah, the tag on 1819 Madison. Well, I posted the affidavit at this,
I got that one because I'm there every day.
Okay.
The one on Bronson Street.
the one, that's, okay, this one here.
Yeah.
Someone signed the green card for you named,
I
let me
never
see.
do that. You have to
Okay, my
get it.
question was, what was the address to which the city
Oh,
sent? I'm looking at a letter dated July 29th to John G. Kastner, 36 Winchester Road,
Yes, sir, that's
Ormond
it.
Beach, Florida, 32144. Is that your address, Mr. Kastner?
It was sent there?
Yes, sir.
My
And
question,
someone-
back up,
someone-
back up, back up.
Okay,
One at a time, guys. I'm going to ask questions. I'd like you to respond to the question. Is that your address, Mr.?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
my address.
Mr. Green, did you send the letter to this address by certified mail? Got a green card or
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
is that in the area? Hang on, here it is, here it is. All right. It shows 36 Winchester Road, Ormond Beach, Florida, 32114. Does it show that the green card was signed? Did the post office indicate why?
The one I got, is signed.
Okay, which, is that
It was
the other
sent out
case?
it was sent out 7/29/22. And I put notice, I put NOH on the green card just to let me know that that's the hearing green card, not. the
Okay, is that on
quantitative
this
compliance.
case or the other case?
That's the case that he's saying he didn't get the,
1122
yes, sir.
Bronson?
Yes, sir.
The one I have doesn't show it was
Oh, yeah,
signed.
okay, it's the other property, then this must be the 1819 Madison. I mean, yes, sir.
All right, now I'm looking at John's Metals of Palatka, Inc.
Yes, sir.
Shows a different address, PO Box 1984, Bedell,
Yes.
Florida, 32116. That was apparently signed by Taylor Zammit.
That's my granddaughter.
Okay, so she signed that green card.
Okay.
Now, the other case, and it looks like you posted the property.
Yes, sir.
up there. It's like you signed an affidavit of service indicating you posted the property at 1121 on 7/29/22.
Yes, sir.
And what is, do you have a photo of the posting or
Yes, sir. It's there. So
which one is?
it's on the other side, sir. Here it is, right?
That's the orange notice
Yes, sir.
on the fence. So we've
Yes,
got a photograph showing the orange notice on the fence. What date was the photograph taken?
So, 7/29/22.
I got that one,
All right,
because I'm there every day.
okay. And that's what the statute allows. If they get the green card back, it says it wasn't signed for the certified mail, they're required to go out and post the property and post the notice down here at City Hall. And he signed an affidavit that he did both. So, okay. Thank you. Stay in touch.
Yes, sir. Try to get something done there in Madison.
We will do that. All right.
Send me some helpers.
I don't have any authority to do that for you. I'm sorry.
All right. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you. All right, moving on. I guess we need 801 North 11th Street.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next case of records, case number 2021-57, property located at 801 North 11th Street. Palatka, owner of record Mary Liu. The original violation dealt with Florida's Muni Code Section 30-32A, prohibited conditions and public nuisances due to large holes in the roof, soffit and fascia and disrepair. A violation of Section 30-171 of the Muni Code, windows due to broken windows on the property. A violation of Section 30-169, building fronts and sides abutting public streets or areas, rotten and weakened wood and structural deterioration. And Section 30-170 of the code, rear and side walls, paint deteriorating. It's like the original hearing was in October of 2021. Mr. Green?
Yes, sir. This picture was taken 9/7/2021. You can see the roof in disrepair and somebody's tearing the wall out, the side wall right there. That's facing Eagle Street, on the 11th Street side. Right down the street.
Did you take all the photographs you're showing us today as demonstrative evidence?
Yes, sir.
Does the photographs actually represent the condition of the property date in which you took them?
Yes, sir.
And let me just make a statement to the audience and see if Mary Liu or anyone representing Mary Liu is present. As the record show, no one is here. Okay, please continue.
In this picture. The windows are still broken. This is now 9/7/2021.
Has that improved since
No, sir.
October of last year?
No, sir.
All right, what about next?
This is 9/7/21. Siding is deteriorating.
This is photograph number 2. Has that condition improved since
No, sir.
last year? Okay.
These are pictures for 7/27/22. The siding and the roof, more siding has disappeared.
And that's the siding under the window is just gone,
Yes, sir.
and the rest of it's in disrepair, and the roof is actually is destroyed
Yes, sir.
on the right side of the house there. Okay,
That's another story on the roof and still in disrepair.
is that different than the last photograph,
Yes,
different
sir.
side of the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the windows, this is 7/7/22, showing the rope, the windows are still broken. That's facing 11th Street.
So the windows are broken and looks like siding is missing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's facing 11th Street right there. Another one stating, showing Eagle Street on 11th Street, on 11th Street side.
Has there been any improvement in that
No,
section of
sir.
the property since last year?
No, sir.
That's it? Based on the evidence and testimony presented, we can find it appropriate to enter an order placing a lien on the property. Have you got the total, just for the record, as to how much has accrued?
The total for the fines and stuff, I would have to look for it broken down, but basically minus the 582.62, so 26,000 even in fines over 260 days, 100 a day.
$582.62 in administrative fees.
Correct, sir?
And we'll enter an order placing a lien on, authorizing the placement of a lien on the property in the amount of $26,582.62. We'll send out that order by certified mail to the property owner. All right, next case looks like 221 South 5th Street, case 2020-008. I got that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 22 South 5th Street. Owner of record appears to be Marjorie Pinnell. Is Marjorie Pinnell present or anyone representing Marjorie Pinnell? Let the record show that no one is here. The original violations dealt with Florida's Palatka Muni Code Section 30-170, rears and side walls, paint deterioration. Palatka Muni Code Section 30-171, windows, multiple windows broken or damaged. And Palatka Muni Code Section 30-32A, prohibited conditions and public nuisances, overgrown grass and debris. The original date for correction was 3/19/21. The date for hearing was 2/19/21. Is that correct? February of 21. Right, Mr. Green?
This is a picture of the house on 12/14/2021. The broken windows, overgrown grass. The car is gone. That's about the only thing.
Just for the record, did we get notice to the owner? Did she get the certified mail?
Yes, sir. It's the hairs of Marjorie Pinnell now.
Has she passed away since this hearing?
Yes, sir. So,
She was alive at the date of the original hearing?
yes,
So the property appraiser and tax collector now list the property in the name of the heirs of Marjorie Pinnell.
yes, sir.
Address 221 South Fifth Street,
Yes, sir.
Palatka, Florida, 32177.
Yes, sir.
Post office indicated when the certified letter was returned to sender vacant, unable to forward. Have you had any contact with any of the heirs?
No, sir.
And you placed notice on the property
Yes, sir.
on July 29th of this year at 10:41, correct?
Yes, sir.
And have an affidavit of service. Okay, please proceed.
Okay. And that's why.
And
This is the
tell me
house.
what you-
This is the house now, 72722. The windows still broken.
Has that been improved at all?
No,
since-
sir. The property deteriorating real fast. It's getting worse.
So we're looking at photograph of the front of the house showing broken windows, deteriorating paint, overgrown grass and debris.
Yes, sir.
And that's worse than it was back in February of last year.
Yes, sir.
Next.
That's the paint deteriorating. That's 12/14/2021. At the side of the house.
Okay.
This is 7/27/22. Deteriorating.
Okay.
Picture of the front house with the overgrown grass and the broken windows. That was 12/14/2021. And this is 7/27/2022. The car is gone, but everything else is getting worse.
All right. Basically, no improvement in conditions or worsening
Yes, sir.
in all areas. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Last call, Marjorie Pennell. Anyone representing the heirs of Marjorie Pennell? Seeing and hearing no one, we're going to find it appropriate to enter an order placing a lien on the property. Please give me the total for lien fees and administrative cost.
Yes, so the fee for Ms. Fennell's property, we do have the admin fees at the $582.62. So minus is $25,724 for the fees, or excuse me, for the fines, daily fines.
In total, 26,307.62.
Yes, sir, and I'll double check my math, to verify that again though.
Okay, that being the case, we'll issue an order authorizing the imposition of a lien on the property. Okay. Final case, looks like it's property 604 Bronson Street, case number 2021-14. Owners of record appear to be Latanya Battles and Earl Battles. Tenants in common care of Latanya Battles. Are Latanya Battles and or Earl Battles here or anyone representing either of them present today? Seeing and hearing no one. Did we get a green card on them or did we just notice? Mr. Green,
Sir?
did we get a green card back on?
Oh,
them?
no, sir. I did post it on the property though.
Did you send it certified mail?
Yes, I did.
You didn't get the card back at all? Wait a
No,
minute.
sir.
Hang on.
Mr. Brown,
But it came back unsigned. Yes, sir.
she did reach out and call the office to ask questions about this hearing, so she is definitely
aware of
aware of the hearing itself.
All right. Did she indicate she's going to do anything about this situation?
She's still trying to get DEO, his organization, to help remove the roof, the tree out of the roof from back in Hurricane Irma situation. So she's still waiting on that process.
She give you any time frames as to when this
No,
might be
sir.
accomplished?
No, sir.
All right. The violation had to do with section 30-32A, prohibited conditions, roof and siding. And the original order looks like it went out in April 19th, approximately of last year. Mr. Green, tell us what the condition of the property is today, please.
Yes, sir. When you, Aaron?
Sorry, I apologize. I'm doing math over here.
Oh,
That's the posting.
but that was a photograph showing posting on the property fence.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Would you like me to refer back to that?
No, that's fine. It's in the record.
This is 2/25/2021. That's the tree in the house.
All right, this one fell into the roof.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The thing hasn't like gotten worse in the last year.
Not really.
I mean,
The behind the house has. Then that's the
So they
siding.
like lean over and fall into the house.
But I think the wind blew it in there.
Well, I mean, point being now, it's just
Yes, sir.
leaned over.
It's
into
in the
house.
same spot.
All right.
So that's the siding that's coming off the house because of
This
the
is
tree.
photograph 2 dated 2/25/21. What's it look like today?
Mm. That's it today. Still on 7/27/22. The siding is still coming off. The tree is still in the roof.
All right, go back, show me the siding looked last year. Okay, that's a photograph, February of last year. Trees falling on the roof and the siding's bulged out
Yes, sir.
underneath the roof, okay? You have me currently what it looks like?
That's it right there, sir. 7/27/22.
And there's been no change or improvement?
No, sir.
Anything gotten worse?
Behind the house it has. Scroll down here. Right there. That's a picture of, I showed you before with the
So what is this photograph showing me?
the vines growing over all over the back of the house. Scroll back down. I mean, scroll up there. Yeah,
You
that's it.
didn't
That's
sign
it.
them.
That's it right there. But that's the
Yeah.
vines has
Oh,
grown
okay.
all across that.
We didn't cite them for vines, though.
No, sir. No, sir. No,
Right,
sir. No,
right.
sir.
Is this the roof and siding?
Yes, sir.
This is
That's it.
pretty substantial level of damage. Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Based on the evidence and testimony, we're going to find it appropriate to order the authority to place a lien on the property. What's the total?
I corrected it was a total of 454 days at $50 per day, comes to $22,700 in fines. And then the administrative fees as well.
And the grand total is,
The grand total will be 22,950 for $250 administrative fees.
just for the record, these fines continue even after the lien is placed. So everybody keep track of that. If we come to foreclose the lien at some point, it all adds up at some point. All right, there being no further business before the special magistrate, we're going to adjourn these proceedings.